George, do something. Please, help me. What is happening to me?
Diagnosis: in love. You are in love.
That's it.
Hello, hello. This is the Doom Show. Richard, Brad, Jeffrey, Naffa. It's the Doom Show. Hello, hello. This is the Doom Show. Slashers, giallo, and horror. It's the Doom Show. The cuckoo clock interrupts the show. Doomed Moviethon. Death of the old salesman. Sweaty Cameron Mitchell. Hello, hello. This is the Doom Show. Richard, Brad, Jeffrey, Naffa. It's the Doom Show. It's the Doomed Show. Doomed Show.
Hello and welcome to Hello, this is the Doom Show. I am Richard. I am connected to Jeffrey via Apache server. Hello, Jeffrey.
Please disconnect. Danger.
Jeffrey, could you rotate the dish and hook up the box for me?
Need more input.
And make sure you connect to the main frame.
I think that you are in love. Diagnosis complete.
What is it? Men prefer dresses 70% or something?
Yes. Let's not yet. We gotta get there.
Folks, welcome to the show. We are talking about Nightmare Weekend from 1986. Another one of Jeffrey's picks.
Yeah.
Oh my god. A little peek behind the curtain. I think you pick about, like 75% of what you and I talk about?
I think so, yeah.
I throw in a little bit here and there. I mean, we'll never top this one. Oh, fuck.
Well, you like me to surprise you.
I do.
Because until we started, podcasting together, you liked good horror movies mostly. And I'm like, what are you doing with that?
I know. What's my problem? I blame you and Jess Franco for everything.
It feels like we often reach new nadirs of this show.
We're on our 15th zenith.
Yeah. We're here.
Yeah, we haven't recorded it in a while. We haven't recorded since The Face with Two Left Feet.
Mm-hmm.
But why could we even talk? What was there to talk about once that was done? Nothing.
Well, there was Nightmare Weekend. That's what there was.
Holy crap. I found an amazing trailer for this. I'm going to play the trailer right now because it's fantastic. And it explains everything you need to know.
Doubtful. Very doubtful.
You are about to enter the 21st century of terror. Nightmare Weekend. A group of college students were invited to spend a pleasure weekend in a mansion, but instead experienced a nightmare weekend. Nightmare Weekend. The first high-tech terror film. Witness an experiment so frightening that it will never leave your mind. Die! Experience a lust for power so gruesome that you may lose your mind. When modern technology gets out of human control, the action never stops. Nightmare Weekend. It's the first high-tech terror film. Nightmare Weekend. The 21st century of terror. Rated R.
Okay, we're back from hearing the trailer. First thing you need to know about this beautiful film is that it's a Trauma team release.
Yeah, not a Trauma production. This is
Right.
another one of their pickups.
Oh,
so
okay.
It doesn't feel like a Trauma film.
No.
I mean, granted, it doesn't even really feel like a film, so I mean, Trauma films at least usually have that. Which is weird to say, but in comparison, yes.
This jumps right into the action with a plane landing and dropping off 2 bikers. All I need to know about these 2 gentlemen is that they're lovers. I mean, they're just friends.
Well, we don't really know. We don't spend enough time with them. But there's a relationship here.
They cruise along at night, and they sneak up to a satellite dish.
Yeah, they've got some walkie-talkies. They're communicating with somebody. I believe that somebody is Julie.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know her yet, but because
Right.
she's shadowed in darkness.
Man, she's a mysterious character.
Sure.
She should stay that way, but she doesn't.
They're trying to access the mainframe. They've got a target. They're trying to steal something, I guess, is what we're supposed to get here.
They need to rotate the dish and hook up the box.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out later. This is Ken and Bob.
Yes.
And
well, definitely Ken. I forgot the other guy's name.
I think it's Bob.
He mentions it later. Let's just call him Bob. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
We've landed. We're all set.
Good luck, guys.
Hey, Julie, baby, we've reached the target.
So what does she want? Access to the mainframe?
Right. Okay. Candy control unit. Candy control unit, come in.
Okay, rotate the dish and hook up the box. Then wait for my further instructions.
Standing by.
Important stuff here. The movie, all of a sudden, takes a shit on my mind. There's a puppet.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's literally a puppet.
Yes.
But in the world of the film, he's a puppet robot?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a computer with a puppet for, interacting with it.
Well, he's a computer with a puppet that interacts with the computer itself.
Right. And the user, which is potentially human. Some of the people in this movie are humans. I'm going to go ahead and guess that 90% of the people watching this film who have seen this turned it off right when George, the puppet, shows up.
Uh-huh.
He starts yelling about something, and then all of a sudden, Operation Code 17 is on his little monitor there.
Which also kind of looks like a conventional oven.
Yes.
Like, it's not what you would recognize as a computer.
Right.
Even in 1986 terms.
I'm thinking it's very big because of all the electronics that are inside it, or the person operating the puppet. So they can comfortably sit inside. Like the old Apple computers used to be like.
Uh-huh, exactly. Yeah, you could sit inside if you need to.
So we cut back to our 2 friends, and that's when you notice they have matching necklaces.
Do they really?
Yes. One dude has a necklace there. It's like a coin that's been cut in half, like jagged, and Ken has one side and Bob has the other.
It's like they're like a yin and a yang.
Yeah, that's why
Bob and Ken.
That's why I thought they were lovers.
You know what? I believe it.
So Bob is climbing up a rope to get to the top of the thing, and there's some drama as he almost falls. Mm-hmm. His necklace gets caught on a beam, and thanks to George and, who we'll find out later, Apache, his half of the necklace turns into a silver ball. It's like a gumball or a jawbreaker size.
Okay, well, it's a phantasm orb.
Yes, but it's proportionate in size to, like, the quality.
It's like a jawbreaker. It's small.
The size of the ball is the quality of this production. So since this is significantly smaller ball for this movie than for Phantasm.
I get you. All right, so you just actually explained a big plot thing for me. There are various attacks in this film that just make no sense to me. It's like, how did the fucking phantasm orb get there? And it's because this computer can turn objects into phantasm orbs.
Yep. Apparently, and this is something that only I would have noticed because I'm crazy, it has to be an object that belonged to the person.
Which is insane. Okay.
Which is bonkers.
Which makes sense when an ice cube turns into one later on. Or actually, fuck that. It turns into an ice cube.
Right. It turns into a ball, and then it turns into an ice cube. Oh, God, it's so
whatever.
good.
Okay.
So, this silver ball interrupts Bob while he's trying to help out Julie baby.
One way of putting it. Yeah.
The ball smashes him in the face, and there's lots of blood squirting everywhere, and he's screaming.
Mm-hmm. And he falls down.
Yep.
Dead, and it's like his skull sticking out of his face. Surely push that back in. That's indecent.
It seemed like a less serious wound, but then by the time we see him on the ground, his face is exploded.
And then Ken just stands there for a while, watching the blood drip, and it goes on for way too long. And then, like, right before he's about to yell out, "Line!" it cuts to the opening credits.
And we get a fantastic song.
You are a nightmare. You have a hold on me. You move in silence. You do not speak to me.
Oh man!
It's a woman. I think her name is Miriam Stockley, something like that.
Exactly.
She sings a song about a nighttime intruder from a nightmare fantasy.
A nightmare fantasy. Oh, we're playing the song right now. It's beautiful.
At one point, she calls it a stillborn fantasy, though.
Ugh.
That's kind of
wow.
weird.
You know what? I wish that this was like a Faceless situation where they played the song like over and over again in the movie.
No, we've got other songs that need to play over and over
That
again.
is true. That is true. Why should that one hog the spotlight?
Yeah, why should the good one be repeated?
Oh my god. The opening credits play out over Bob's blood dripping, it starts off as a trickle and then it turns into a freaking big old puddle of his blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already in love with this movie. Just gonna show my hand. I love this shit.
Yes.
After the credits, we find that we are in Ocala, Florida, which
California.
Where is
the film actually?
Oh no, this is filmed in Ocala, Florida. This is like an hour away from me.
Okay. Oh, wait. Spell it.
Ocala. Ocala.
Okay. Ocala, Florida. That's a real place. Okay.
Oh, it's a real place.
I thought you were making like a California, Florida joke.
No,
like,
no.
It's Florida, but supposed to look like California.
There is a Florida flag at the college. When that's Lieta spotted it. Just like, is this shot in Florida? And I was like, oh shit. I looked it up. And sure enough, they even thank Ocala, Florida in the credits.
Yeah. There's some cool things filmed there. Like Jeepers Creepers and Moonraker and Smokey and the Bandit Part 3.
Nice.
Ocala, Florida, really representing.
Was the Smokey and the Bandit 3, was that the one where Burt Reynolds didn't want to be in it? Or was that 4?
No, he's not in 3.
Okay, that's the one where they replaced him.
3 is the one where they were going to have Buford T. Justice play the Bandit too.
That's it.
Like he was going to play both roles, which is insane.
That would have been even better.
But instead they just had Jerry Reed play Cletus and the Bandit.
Which for some reason I remember that one better than all of the other ones. Like I really liked that one as a kid. I was a weird kid.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
That explains why I love Nightmare Weekend so much.
Yep.
Man, we need to just get to the aerobics.
Yeah, starts with some aerobics because it's 1983 and that's just what you do.
We get good old Jessica and Annie.
Mm-hmm. And now Annie, all right, so this is where I start getting really confused about the connections between characters and the spatial geography of the film.
Oh, this gets nuts.
We have like 3, after we get through this like introductory stuff, we've got 3 primary locations, or 4, I guess, if we include the airplane hangar, which we returned to.
Yeah.
But okay. So Annie is inviting Jessica to a relaxing weekend of being part of a nuts science experiment.
Mm-hmm.
But that nuts science experiment is referring to the work being done by Jessica's father and his assistant, Julie.
Yep.
Now, Annie says she declines. She says, you know what, I'm going to turn down this $500 reward and the chance to relax while being experimented upon to go hang out with my dad. So is she, in the rest of the movie, is she in the same location as the other girls? Because it seems like they all go to the same place.
Right.
But they're not like supposed to be in the same place. I don't understand what's happening.
There's two houses.
That's what I had to
There's
figure.
a mansion, and then there's the house where Jessica and her dad live.
Okay, so she's there, which is like right next door to this other house.
Or a short drive. They're a short drive from each other.
Because Julie's controlling the other one. That's where the experiment's happening.
Exactly.
And that's where the 3 girls are staying, and all of the random men they invite over.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And that's where all of the maid and the butler are hanging out.
God, it's so awesome.
Okay, but George and Apache, they're at the other house with Jessica and her dad.
Exactly.
All right. These houses don't look very different, though.
Yep. Jessica declines to participate because she wants to spend time with her dad, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Annie references George, who we've already met. Mm-hmm. And she says, "Oh, I really wanted to meet George. He sounds like a blast," or something like that. She has no idea just how much of a blast George is going to be for the viewer.
Well, she falls in love with George pretty soon after meeting him. She keeps saying, "Oh, George, I love you. What would I do without you?" I mean, that's like her second interaction with this weird puppet.
Exactly. We get to meet Julie, who we saw earlier talking to the biker dudes. Her name is Julie Clingstone.
Because she clings to the stone?
What?
I don't get it.
Maybe. She's immediately mean to her servants.
Yep, there's Mary Rose the maid and Ralph the something.
I think Ralph is the driver.
Yeah, he's the driver. That's right. Okay.
Harry is the butler.
Right. Yep.
And Mary Rose is a slut, just like her mother.
The quote is, quote, "You may look innocent, but you're a slut just like your mother."
Oh, it's so great. Like, what just happened right here?
And she also accuses Ralph of having booze breath.
But he never has booze breath, Jeffrey. He has sandwich breath.
His sandwich breath. It's special sandwich breath. Yeah, it's different.
Oh, my God.
That might be my favorite 2-second scene. We got a few of those.
As it happens over and over.
Julie is very bad. Like she's a bad character, as in like she's evil, but she's also just really bad at acting.
Who does she look like to you? Does she look like somebody?
She does. She looks like Lucinda Dickey in Ninja 3 post-possession. Like when her hair is really crazy.
Oh my God, good call. I was going to say she looks like dumpy Lena Romay.
Dumpy Lena Romay.
Like a really crappy Lena Romay.
Did Lena Romay ever have hair like that?
Probably. It may have been a wig, but she definitely had some teased out shit going on.
That I believe, yeah.
I mean, I really like Julie because I really assumed that she was a porn actress that was just not doing porn anymore. But no, the only other thing she was in was like Reform Schoolgirls or something.
Oh, really? I've not seen it, but that's a popular movie.
You know me and my women in prison flicks.
Oh, no, she's in Bad Girls Dormitory.
Ooh. See, I already messed it up.
Yeah, it sounds like a ripoff.
I think they all bleed together.
Oh, gosh, that movie was directed by the guy who did Breeders.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, that's probably...
Man, Breeders.
Breeders is bad.
Really, really, almost unwatchably bad.
Well, I mean, it's only like an hour long, so...
But I watched it. Of course, yeah. The shorter the better. We're going to cut to a bar now. It's called the Stage Stop.
But they call it something different. They call it like Bob's Bar or something?
Yeah, or... someone's going to buy the bar later. Major plot point. Oh, what?
No.
Does every instance of dialogue in this count as a plot point?
Well, there are things that happen, so yes.
Okay, cool.
So at the bar, we meet the only real actor in this movie. Well, I guess we've actually got two who went on to have some careers. There's Robert John Burke, who plays Dave. He's a Harley riding badass.
Oh, the
pinball wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Robert John Burke is cool. He was in a bunch of blah 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 blah. Well, he was one of the RoboCops at one point. I can't remember which one, but he's in a bunch of Hal Hartley's films.
That's awesome.
So he's done good. And he's the guy in Thinner. Duh.
You know, it's so funny. I looked up like a couple people and just gave up because nobody else did anything. I missed that completely.
Yeah, this is like one of his first roles, and he's big. He's good actor.
Nice.
And the other one is Andrea Thompson, who's in NYPD Blue and a bunch of other things. She plays the character of Linda. I don't really know who that is. One of the girls, I think.
Yeah, Linda is... She's the one who gets naked the most, I think?
Okay.
And she gets all crazy later. Like a lot of characters get crazy later.
Yeah, they all go crazy. They turn weird mutants, because why not?
The line that lets you know that Dave is a badass. He sees, I think it's Gary, macking on some chick. We'll introduce Gary in a bit. I didn't think he's going to be a character. So all of a sudden later, I'm like, oh shit, I should have been paying attention to that guy.
I mean, you could say that about most of the characters. I didn't think that was going to be a character.
The entire cast. He walks up to him and he interrupts him macking on some girl, and he says,
"You're quantity, and I'm quality."
Yeah, and then a girl walks up behind him, wraps her arms around him, and says, "I like both."
Oh, that chick. Woo. Man, she is a tramp. When we get to her later, I'm still not sure exactly who she is.
Well, you know what? I'm going to reverse expectations here and say that Dave is quite the tramp.
Oh, burn.
I don't think you should single just her out.
That's true. Gary's a tramp. We're making sure that there's no slut shaming in this episode.
Well,
except for Mary Rose, because Julie called it, man, just like her mother.
Apparently. I don't know what's going on there, yeah.
Oh, fuck. So good. Undeveloped plot thread.
Undeveloped everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
We see good old Ralph is already in a bar. He's drinking from a sandwich. Which I almost missed the first time. Leetta's like...
I actually did miss that the first time. I only got it later on.
I just thought it was a weird flask he was drinking out of a paper bag, but no. He has little bottles of booze.
It's a bread bag. Bread bag.
Tucked between two slices of bread.
And it's like Wonder Bread, too.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's the barkeep calls it his special sandwich.
This movie could have been about Ralph's special sandwiches.
I argue that it's just as much about that as it's about anything.
Oh, Ralph gets a call on his walkie-talkie from Julie, and she wants him to pick up the girls. She knows that he's in a bar. She just knows.
Yeah.
So he runs off to do that, and then we get to see Jessica arriving home. She's driving her little Jeep.
Yeah, she meets with Daddy.
Oh my God, Edward.
He says to her, "And how's my lovely daughter?" But this whole movie's dubbed and not particularly well dubbed.
Oh, jeez.
And it sounds like he's saying, "And how's my lonely daughter?" Which ends up being kind of true. She's very, very lonely, as she tells her computer diary / puppet.
What's so funny about this is, like, I thought we were getting away from the post-dubbing Italian stuff.
Oh, no.
When you picked this, and it ends up being pre- and post-dubbing American, French...
Yeah, this movie has a really weird production.
Indian.
Yep.
But the family name is Brake. So she is Jessica Brake, and he is Edward Brake.
Okay.
Which, this just bizarre last name.
You know, he is a masterful scientist / inventor because he has 212 patents, he tells us.
Oh my God. This whole sequence, the dialogue.
And she's happy to be spending the weekend with him, but he's going to be pretty busy with his science stuff. And she laments here at this moment, "Ugh, abandoned for bioelectronics. Story of my life." Which I found out coincidentally is available fall '86 from HarperCollins.
I can't wait to read that. That's going to be good stuff.
By Jessica Brake.
What I like about her dad here in this scene is that he's going through some papers, like some file folders and stuff. I was like, is he working on the script? It looks like he's
No.
highlighting some shit.
Listen, nobody was working on the script.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Morning, Daddy.
Hello, Jessica. And how's my lovely daughter?
So glad to see you.
Me too. How do you feel?
Like $1,000,000. How about you? Don't you ever relax?
Hmm?
You own this joint, for God's sake. You got 200 patents.
212. Listen, I won't be able to spend very much time with you this weekend.
Abandoned for bioelectronics. The story of my life. Well, George will keep me company.
We're coming to the end of the tests on the biometer. I think we may have something.
You always have something, Daddy. But tell me, who's the we?
Julie?
So I have to put up with Julie again. She's still after you?
Not often enough.
We're gonna meet Ken finally here. We've sort of seen him around, but this is Dale Midkiff, the other actor that I recognize.
Oh, you recognize him from what?
He was in. Oh my God, you put me on the spot.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, please, thank you.
Pet
Save me.
Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. That's the one. That's the main one. He's still around, still doing stuff.
He's done a lot. Nothing that's really jumping out at me, but it's things.
Congratulations on all the things you did.
A lot of
Dale.
TV movies,
Big
TV
time.
series. Air Bud 3.
Oh, that lucky son of a bitch. I wanted to be in that.
Well, I missed out.
Oh.
But working actor, that's cool. Cool for him. He's plagued by a lot of different, like, traumatic memories.
Yes,
so, of course,
he is.
he dealt with his friend, or his lover, Bob, dying in the first scene of the film. But here he's flashing back to, like, this weird motorcycle game, gang, and accident.
Oh, man.
I guess the game is called Pick Up the Can, because that's what they do.
They all put money in a can, and they ride around in circles, and the film is sped up to make it look sort of impressive. And then whoever can pick up the can gets to keep the cash.
Okay. Well, he does. But then somebody steals it from him.
It's so cute.
And then, like, a truck crashes into that person. I don't know.
Okay. He wrecks his motorcycle chasing after the other guy. And then right before he gets hit by a truck, Bob saves his life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that part and I understood it. Somehow. I don't know how I did it.
I don't know how you did.
Maybe I dreamed it.
So is the implication, so nobody died in the accident?
No. It was Bob's just saved his life. It's
Bob, so he feels indebted to Bob, so he's sad that he just stared and watched blankly as Bob died.
as his face exploded. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Well, Julie is there trying to comfort him, and he can't be comforted. He just says, hey, let's go check out your killer dog.
Which is actually a line. That's
Yeah.
Stop blaming yourself.
Just get out of here, okay, Julie? Just leave me alone.
Ken, you've got to understand. I'm sorry about what happened. But we're almost there now. This last weekend we'll do it.
Let's just go check out that killer dog of yours, all right?
And then we cut, because why not?
Hey, why not?
You can really only piece everything together after the fact, as I'm discovering right now.
Yeah.
You're really enlightening me about a lot of the things that have happened.
I'm happy to try. I know you'll understand what I say, but hopefully you don't know I'm making all of it up.
Well, okay. I'm going to just pretend that everything you're saying is true.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey.
Because it's helping me.
It's entirely possible, too.
Yeah.
So we see the limo pull up, and we get our three girls. Linda gets into the limo that Ralph is driving. Probably not drunk driving. And her mom runs up with a bag of sandwiches. I was thinking, are they all booze-filled sandwiches? But no, just plain old, boring, dry sandwiches. Oh my God, I love this movie. Even the sandwiches scene is great.
They're dry as hell cardboard sandwiches.
Oh yeah. We're getting to that. So we go back to Jessica in her bedroom. Or is this the first time we've seen Jessica in her bedroom with George?
I think this was the first time.
Oh, God.
Which is weird considering how she acts. She says, I like my friend Annie, but I like you and Dad more, weird puppet.
Oh my god.
And Annie said to give you a kiss.
And this scene is played out. She's in like her really sparsely decorated bedroom that looks like something like an 11-year-old girl would have, not a teenage girl.
Yeah, but she's wearing like bedtime negligee.
Oh my god.
With this puppet, and she's giving it kisses, and he's saying like, far out.
You know, George, Annie asked me to do some weird psychological test with her. You know how much I like Annie, but I like you and Dad more.
I am flattered.
Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Annie said to give you a big kiss.
Aw.
Let's describe George.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Go for it.
What does he look like to you?
Oh, he looks like not an official Sesame Street toy, but like the Chinese knockoff of a Sesame Street toy, like something you would have found at a Walgreens in the early 80s. It's very, very cheesy. It's got green hair with weird green features painted on it, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hand puppet.
Totally a hand puppet.
It has a black heart for a mouth. It has like 3 green unibrows and scraggly green Crypt Keeper hair. It looks like a sickly homemade Riff Raff puppet, like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror. Yes. And it's wearing because a bow tie, I think, and a formal jacket. It's weird.
It is really fucking
And again,
weird.
let's just think about this. It's a robot connected to a computer that manually operates the computer, but it is the computer.
Right.
So this computer can't just do things. It can't just run programs itself. It has to have a weird felt puppet control it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just making that clear.
She wants to play a game with George. So she says, set up a race for me. So they get out the game controller, which is a little console with a steering wheel on it. And it controls Julie's car. Julie, our villainess, is driving around, and all of a sudden her car is like taken out of her control, and in super fast forward crazy, the car goes all over the place while while Jessica's playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
And she barely misses dying. And then once she can get control of the car again, she just drives away. She doesn't jump out to get to safety.
Right.
She just goes, oh shit, that was annoying, and then starts driving again. She almost got a head-on collision with a semi or something.
Yeah, you think you'd be more concerned about this.
Not so much.
No.
Not so much.
In the ending credits, Coleco is thanked for its use of this wonderful driving video game. Thank you, Coleco.
Oh, yes, for completing our lives with that sequence. Oh, my God.
I really like Julie's car. It's a red car with red leather interior.
Yeah, it's like one of those, early 80s K cars, like cops would drive. It's really... It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but it's definitely American.
I thought you were going to say, it's hard to tell what it is, but it's definitely a car.
Americar? I don't know.
America.
So we go back to the limo to see the girls. We've got Linda and we've got
Annie. And
then we've got the person who is the most difficult to frickin' name, because they don't say her name until like an hour into the movie. Pamela.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
Oh my God. So annoying. Anyway, Linda is eating her sandwich, which she complains that it's dry and it tastes like cardboard, and she throws it out the window.
Excuse me. She calls it dry as hell.
Dry as hell. All sandwiches in hell are dry.
And the other girls are complaining that she's eating it like an animal.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you learn your manners? In the gutter like you two. Oh, not in the gutter like you two. Oh, I'm just
This is what passes as characterization.
That's enough for me.
Like, we learn most of the details about characters based upon how they react to sandwiches. Like, that's not even a joke. That's just actually what happens in this movie.
It's the same way Fellini does it. La Strada just is Italian for the sandwich. Wait.
Where'd you learn your manners? Not in the gutter like you, kid.
Oh, come on, ladies. Cut it out. Why can't you two relax?
This sandwich tastes as dry as hell. Tastes like cardboard.
I want to make like a super cut of like really important moments of people eating sandwiches in film. Like where you learn a lot about those characters through their eating of sandwiches. I'm thinking of like, or it could even be from TV too. Like I'm thinking of that scene in Twin Peaks where the Horn brothers are eating that.
That baguette thing. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like you learn a lot about them through that scene. Just like we learn a lot about Linda here and Ralph through his sandwiches. Yeah, okay. So then we're in the bar.
Yep, she asks the driver for a drink, so they pull over to the stage stop.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to pull over there anyway. He was ready.
Hey, what an opportunity.
And we go inside and witness some jukebox mating rituals in the wild.
Whoa, this is fucking bonkers.
Well, I mean, this is pretty weird, but it gets even weirder later on. This bar should be shut down. It is a health hazard, probably.
Oh, especially the pinball machine.
Yep.
Ugh.
So while they're inside, just hanging out, some guys go outside. Well, one guy goes outside and like lets the air out of their tire.
That's Tony.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you noted that because I did not.
Tony's the guy with the Walkman.
Okay.
He goes, for some reason, I think it was a plan between him and Gary. We'll get to know Gary all too well soon. I think they had this plan to begin with so that they could hang out with the chicks. So he lets the air out of the tire and then that forces the limo to break down.
Mm-hmm.
Hard cut to the girls just in a field hanging out.
Yeah.
While Ralph is trying to change the tire, Gary is inside the limo with Pamela, I think Pamela, having sex.
Yeah, I think it's Pam.
Meanwhile,
the Roseanne theme is playing.
Oh, the music is so good. Oh, it's so good. While they're having sex, Tony is outside dancing with his Walkman.
He's boogieing. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And there's we cut to shots of underwear falling out of the car window, and Ralph is replacing the tire.
Trying to, yeah.
He's trying to.
And everyone's just sort of like, man, well, this is happening now. Everyone's kind of giggling about it.
There's a lot of voyeurism in this movie. Like, there's lots of moments where people are just watching others having sex.
Yep.
And then there are other moments where, Julie has these closed circuit televisions that she's always watching these girls getting it on with other people.
She
and
is
turning
naughty.
into mutants. So yeah, it's a movie about voyeurism and sandwiches and puppets, I guess.
Holy shit.
Ugh.
We have a conversation between Julie and Edward, and they're going to talk about what this scientific experiment is all about. And the pseudoscience is magnificent.
Yes.
Reported the last test results. They're 100% positive. Check. Cats 100%. Rats 100%. Mice 100%. Killer alley cats to good-natured house pets. You've had complete personality reversals. It's astounding.
I won't take risks. Not with human lives.
It's a remarkable achievement. Edward, you're too modest. Apache is the most powerful machine ever constructed. And I feel privileged to be part of your team.
And a very important part of it.
Dude, this is some of the best pseudoscience ever in anything we've talked about. This is amazing.
Yeah, because it's also magic. So the Apache computer controls something called this Operation Psi.
Yep.
Which so far works pretty well on animals, Julie tells us. It's apparently the purpose is to cure neuroses, though this is not what we actually see it do at all. We see it with a dog. It makes a dog better. That's in just a little bit. But then humans, it just turns into weird mutants and makes them crazy. Like, much crazier than they already were. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know. It's also really unclear to me what Julie's plan is. Like, I guess she's being paid to steal this software, Apache,
Yes.
and the Operation Psi thing. But why?
Nope.
No idea? Yeah.
I got nothing.
Because this isn't a very useful technology. Unless you want to make people into weird mutants.
They're trying to weaponize it.
I guess.
Man, we've already thought more about the story than anyone involved in this movie.
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
pretty good.
So after this scene, we cut to another scene of Jessica playing that Coleco driving game again.
Oh, but this one's totally different, dude. Because she sets it to skill level 4.
What? And this time, Julie's not in her car, but she crashes the car right into a tree.
Oh my god, I love it. And this moment is how Julie figures out that Apache, or George, is controlling the car through Apache. The other thing that happened didn't do it. This made her realize what was going on, and she gives Edward some grief about it.
Yeah. It's also not clear, though, how this works. How does George and Apache connected together
exactly
control cars?
Yep.
I don't know.
All I know is that another quick scene is when the girls arrive. They're now at the mansion. The next thing that's I wrote in my notes, the scene with the dog. Wow. Just wow.
Do you still think that loss of inhibitions and suppression of fear is dangerous?
I just don't know.
Well, that would be skipping past Jessica's wonderful roller skating outfit.
Oh, I was getting there.
Okay. It comes across a few scenes.
No, it's hot.
It's a consistent outfit.
It's the most 80s thing. Like, if we were having a contest from this movie's outfits, who's wearing the most 80s outfit, and it is Jessica's roller skating thing.
Absolutely. Oh. So Edward and Julie use this technology to cure the aggressive Doberman.
Oh, jeez. Because this Doberman's been trained to kill, according to Edward.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Or was he trained to rob banks?
Oh, like that dog
the
movie.
Doberman gang.
Was it the... Oh, yeah.
I watched that like a week or two ago.
Oh my god, like when I was a kid, that was one of the most like tense movies I've ever seen. I thought it was so tight. Like, oh my god. How's it hold up?
It's really brutal at the end. Like, it's kind of like fun. Haha, dogs are robbing a bank. And then at the very end, one of the dogs gets hit by a car.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And like another dog very cruelly just goes and picks up his sack of money and runs away. Oh. And then at the very end, one of the crooks sicks the dogs on the other crooks, and the dogs just murder them all.
Wow.
It's a very dark ending.
That's pretty great.
But I think there's a happy song over the end.
Well, hey, we learned about life.
And there were like 2 or 3 sequels and like a TV series.
Holy
the Doberman gang really went the distance.
God.
Who says you can't teach a new dog old tricks? Clockwork canines, trained to rip off banks with mechanical precision and rip up anybody who gets in their way. See the Doberman gang bite the long arm of the law.
Anyway, so this is one of those dogs. He gets cured by a flying mini phantasm ball that goes into his mouth.
It's so, they took this like little silver ball prop and stuck it in the dog's mouth, and the dog immediately spit it out. So they just ran that in reverse. And then the ball is just, oh god. And so it makes it look like he swallowed it.
It's alive.
Julie is talking to Jessica.
As Jessica's leaving to go roller skating, and Jessica has her headphones on and completely disses Julie when Julie's trying to talk to her. And Julie's like, I'll get you. And Jessica's like, what? Oh, because she's mad about the car thing. That's what was happening.
I'll probably cut that part. Hey, let's skip that.
Thanks for the joyride, pal. And for totaling my car. Don't worry. I'll pay you back.
I can't hear you, Julie.
When she gets to the bar, on her roller skates. She falls down a lot.
Yep.
Like, she roller skates across town, but then when she gets to the bar, she just keeps falling down.
She's not very nimble on her feet.
No, but she meets Ken.
And she meets Dave.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
And Dave meets the pinball machine.
What's her face? The other girl.
We could say that Dave is having sex with this girl on top of the pinball machine, but I'm just as likely to believe that he's fucking the pinball machine.
Right.
We don't see...
This is insane. Okay, like, so he kind of hits on... Dave kind of hits on Jessica. She's not into it. She's definitely into Ken. They're all hanging out in the bar, and in order to kind of show off, Dave gets with this other leather creature, and he starts playing pinball, but then he starts having sex with this woman. The girl is staring at Jessica, like, hey, look what I'm doing. How are you interested in me? Like, just trying to get her attention during all this? And the whole movie comes to a complete creepy standstill. It's like lit in this weird red and blue gel lighting like the whole bar is, but it just becomes abstract weird. Like, This is so fucking strange. And I love it.
Yeah, well, it turns into a porno movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it's not explicit. It's never like... I mean, there's boobs and there's like a butt. It's not...
There's thrusting. There's high scores being made.
There's definitely a tilt happening. There would have been like triple X rated stuff cut into this part if this had been a Jess Franco movie, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the French distributors would have definitely put some boning in there. Jessica gets tired of this business and she storms out. She finds Ken's motorcycle outside and ties her scarf to it, and this music that plays, like her dreamy music as she's tying her scarf on there. Oh, it's so good. She gets accosted by the pinball wizard, Dave.
Yeah, Dave does a lot of accosting.
Oh, God, he's the king of accostation? No. That's probably not a word.
Sure.
He's got a pair of acosticals. I got nothing.
What about you, huh? Don't you want to take on the pinball wizard?
You kidding? She doesn't know a goddamn thing about it. Huh.
Now we see Julie scheming with who I wrote down is the fake Cameron Mitchell of the movie.
It's also the producer's dad.
Yeah.
Which was funny to see.
Oh my God, dude. And the producer will show up in the movie.
Yeah.
Later. What I love about this is that, I mean, I really wanted it to be Cameron Mitchell, and this is such a great thing, because then Cameron Mitchell could have phoned it in. Oh. So yeah, she's talking about selling him this shit, and we still don't know why she's selling it to him or what is the point of any of it, but it's great.
That would be a pretty good Cameron Mitchell role. I would rather that Cameron Mitchell played George.
Yes.
Like he was the one sitting inside the computer with his hand sticking out.
Yes. And then they would have like a special thanks to Cameron Mitchell's hand. Can you imagine how sweaty that puppet would have been? It would have been oozing.
It would keep slipping off.
Oh, this is delightful.
Well, speaking of that puppet, we get another scene with Jessica and George.
Oh, yeah.
And here she's treating George as if he's her diary.
Oh, George, diary. And
then George tells Apache to butt out, like, this is a private conversation between me and Jessica.
Holy shit.
There's some great exchanges between them as he is her diary slash psychologist. She says, like, at one moment, I feel like laughing and crying. And George responds, paradox.
Dude, I'm playing a bunch of this shit. This scene is one of my favorites.
And she's not very good at describing her symptoms. She says, I have a hole in my stomach and in my heart too. I don't think it's a heart attack. I'm happy you understand.
Oh,
and George responds by saying, more data, please.
Diagnosis, you are in love. Oh my God, it's so great.
Yep.
I'm happy. Do you understand?
More data, please.
When I looked at him, it felt like an electric shock. Just like that, I got all wound up inside. Now I want to be with him. I want to be with him, George.
Please name this individual.
This guy I met. He's so incredible.
Analysis in operation. More data, please.
There's a nice moment with Linda and the girls by the pool, and I love this part. One of them is swimming in a white shirt, so of course she's peeking through there.
Didn't pack her bathing suit.
But they have some great dialogue. One of them's a singer. The other one works in a record store and offers to record her, and so this line happens.
I can just see the headlines now. I love it. Weekend meeting leads to solid gold.
So we see some tension between Ken and Julie. Nothing comes of this moment.
Well, this is when Julie sends Ken to go get a personal item from each of the girls so she can turn them into floating phantasm
Silver
orbs.
balls. Now we have Edward talking to his daughter, Jessica. I got nothing on this scene.
Yeah.
Something happens.
Then, Ken is, sneaking around the house.
Yes.
And
this is good.
Pamela tries to seduce him.
Oh my god, I love this part.
She walks up in a towel and then just kind of, opens the towel up and tries to, corner him. And he's like, no, thank you.
And then she screams at him. She throws her towel at him and says, you could never get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, I've heard, you might find
a silver ball.
That you get a special sandwich. Because that's the next scene. Cut to Ralph getting a special sandwich and scene. We're done.
Man, great. All we need is 2 pieces of bread and a little bottle of booze. She talks Ralph into taking her to the stage stop so she can pick up Gary.
Yes. Yeah, mustache.
Oh, mustache man. Oh, man. So she smuggles Gary back to the mansion and up to her room, and then it's gyration time.
Yeah, she does a quote-unquote sexy red dress seduction dance while Julie is watching on those hidden cameras.
Exactly. Lietta was like, does she not know what music she's dancing to? And I said, definitely not.
Yeah, no. She was dancing to something entirely different.
Oh my god, it's so funny. So they start to kiss, and she says to Gary, slow down. Don't slip the clutch, honey. And
I guess that's what happened before when they were making love in the car.
No one slipped the clutch. That was a very long shifting of gears, if you will.
So Operation Psy commences.
Holy God.
And Pamela decides she has to take a shower before they have sex. Not after, but before. Because she's just nasty. She's had a really nasty day.
Well, she worked up such a sweat gyrationing.
Oh, is that what it was? While she's in the shower, the phantasm ball flies up from the shower drain into her mouth.
Oh, in spite of George trying to stop it. It just doesn't. He's powerless.
She collapses.
Gary's bored, so he's reading a magazine, and this is so amazing. Gary freaking falls asleep while he's reading and then dreams of when he and Pamela were having sex in the limo.
Yeah. So, we are flashing back to a sex scene before another sex scene. Because you can never really have two men, right?
Oh, God. So, he wakes up when Pamela steps back into the room, and now that she has a silver ball inside her, she's an alien sex monster.
Yeah, she is possessed. She's growling, making monster faces while straddling him, doing lots of really precise acting work with her hands.
God bless this movie. This is so great. And, I mean, honestly, she's really cute, and Gary is like, I think I can hang with this. I don't care if she's batshit insane. I'm gonna give this a go.
Maybe she's gonna bite me. Well, she makes to go bite his neck, and then we hard cut to a spider crawling on a plate of croissants.
Oh, and it's a little plastic spider that's on a string that goes whoop and goes under a croissant. And Mary Rose she screams, and Harry runs in, the butler, and he helps her. He kills it.
And then he starts thrusting his groin at her.
Oh, God, he hits on her.
Says, so you don't like spiders? How about butlers?
And then she's like, I'm not a fly.
It's so insane.
Oh, my God. So we see a scene of Pamela now wants to get out of there? Or is it Annie who wants to get out of the house?
Oh, God.
Someone's having, like, it's the next day, and someone's having second thoughts. I cannot remember who. But the important part is Jessica consults George again on what to do.
Yeah, about this whole Ken situation.
Holy shit, this is brilliant. He's got some stats.
Asks George, like, what she should wear. George says, you should wear a white dress. Men love white dresses. And then she asks, like, where do you have the potential to meet men?
Yeah.
Now, is she saying, like, specifically Ken or just any men?
That's the thing, is she sort of phrases it like men in general. Like, what do guys want? Or what do guys... How do I find a guy?
Yeah, and so we learn that you're 82% likely to find them at bars.
Yes.
76% at discos.
Yes.
And 66% hitchhiking.
He strongly recommends that she hitchhikes to a bar to meet Ken. That'll improve her chances.
And she responds, hitchhiking, that's it. Thanks, George. Like, all right, that makes no sense for several reasons. I mean, one, that's the lowest percentage. Like, of the three, why are you choosing that one?
Oh,
and also, it's going to get you killed. Even in the 80s, that's going to get you murdered. Or is what happens here, sexually assaulted.
Oh, yes. We see the leather chick, who I still have no idea who she is. She tells off Dave. She's mad at him, because he's a pinball wizard. Mm. And so he takes off, and Jessica runs into him on the road. Now she sees him and kind of is happy because he's got his helmet on, and she thinks it's Ken.
Right.
Oh, boy. Unfortunately...
She goes up to him.
Yeah. He chases her through a park.
Well, he said before he does that, he says, hey, baby, want some pinball action? Or just regular action?
Any kind of action?
Whatever's fine, yeah. He actually says that, though.
It's so good. So good.
So we immediately see that this hitchhiking whole deal did not work out very well.
No.
While she's running around, she stops and clutches her stomach. So maybe she really does have a hole in her stomach. Maybe she was right when she was diagnosing herself earlier.
Man, it's just crazy. Like, and I was... Yeah, this is my least favorite moment in the movie as he tries to rape her. George is ineffectually trying to protect Jessica. The alarms are going off and everything.
Yeah, he somehow got like a mental link to her now.
Yes. Ken is cruising down the road and sees Dave's motorcycle and just knows that pinball wizard's up to no good.
Yeah, he only gets off the hog so he can hop on something else.
Yep, a pinball machine or a lady. Yeah. Ken rescues Jessica from Terrible Dave, and...
It's a very weak fight scene.
His watch falls off, and his watch then turns into a ball.
Dave's watch.
Dave's watch, thank you. And then the ball attacks good old Dave in the face.
Yeah, it flies into his neck and lodges itself there.
Holy shit, this is amazing.
And then he jumps into a pond.
Yeah, he has a seizure and then he jumps in a pond.
And then we see that half of his face is pretty much corroded.
Yeah,
and then his head just straight up explodes.
Oh, it's so great.
So,
man.
Ken and Jessica do not see this because they have run away.
Right, they take off when they see him having a seizure.
And Ken has literally given her the shirt off of his back.
Which, thank you. What a nice man.
Yeah, so he's riding a motorcycle down the street shirtless, which is pretty cool.
That's just that actor's life on a day-to-day basis. That's just how Dale Midkiff lived.
He's not like a hunky dude. He's just kind of like a normal guy.
Totally average. He's got he's got a really memorable face to me, which is why I remembered him, but I couldn't place, because, he's such a good actor. I couldn't place him. Oh, wait. So, this is my favorite scene. Oh my God. I'm going to say this about every scene. Julie calls the mechanic, because, they're working on her car after Jessica wrecked it. And, this is just, man. Okay. So the producer answers the phone. He's the producer of the film, but he's also the mechanic in the movie. And he's got a buddy who works with him, and that is the special effects guy in the movie, but he also works at the mechanic. And this conversation is amazing. Oh, also of note is that there's a Coke machine and a Pepsi machine next to each other because this is America. We Floridians, we love our choices. Let me tell you.
Options. Yeah. Democrat, Republican, Coke, Pepsi.
Man, all they needed was an RC Cola machine and we'd be all set.
Is that like Green Party? The RC Cola?
Don't get political, Jeffrey. Don't get political.
All right, backing off.
We'll lose Brad right away. We got to hold on to him. Hold on to him.
Oh, Miss Clinkstone.
You picked up my car.
Yeah. We got your car. Yeah. Drove it into a tree. How'd you do that?
None of your goddamn business.
Oh.
Is it fixed?
We got it.
Is it fixed?
Yeah, I can fix it. Our mechanic's working on it right now.
Hey, Mike, tell her I got a car right here, man. Go ahead.
We'll have it for you by tomorrow.
It better be.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Make it early.
Okay. All right.
Gary buys the bar.
Yeah, because there's just something you do over the weekend.
This scene is so wonderful because it has nothing to do with anything, even more so than a lot of the other things in this that have nothing to do with anything. Gary he's wearing a suit now. He's got a nice tie and everything. He tells Tony, hey man, I bought the bar.
It was just an impulse buy.
Yeah. And then Tony remarks, what a guy. His dad buys him everything. What?
Okay.
Anyway.
Moving along.
Moving right along. Ken and Jessica roll up on the gas station. And there's trouble in paradise, y'all. They're already arguing. This is what love's all about, man. You give a girl the shirt off your back, and all she wants is your complete and total devotion.
Well, at least not to sleep with her arch enemy.
Well, she doesn't know about that yet. But no, she's
gonna find it.
He's like, I've got to go do this thing. I have this, like, work obligation or whatever. And she's so mad that he's doing anything else but hang out with her. Oh, it's so good.
Well, she just had a fairly traumatic experience.
Well, yeah, good point. Man, Jeffrey, come on.
And he's going to do some, like, real sketchy shit. So.
True. Fair enough. Ken's voice in this scene sounds like yet another actor's dubbing it. Oh my God. It just sounds so weird. He says some strange mumble dialogue. It's great. Why this movie was dubbed, even the people in the interviews on the disc don't know.
I think they say at one point, it was easier.
It was absolutely easier.
There's nowhere in the world I'd rather be. Believe me, there's important business.
Can't it wait? Not even for me?
It's important to my future. Our future, if it works out right.
That'll be $6.
So now we cut back to the mansion where Julie is dumping a spider, a big old tarantula type spider, on the counter, and she's looking very satisfied with herself. She knows that Mary Rose is afraid of spiders because she spies on everyone constantly with her closed circuit television.
Yeah.
The goofballs, I'm just calling these people the goofballs, Dave's crew, find out that Dave is missing, but then they hear that his motorcycle is out by the lake. They all go looking for Dave. I don't even know why I mentioned that scene.
Nope.
They do give up later. They give up and exit the movie. It's really funny.
Much like me, yeah. At least in my notes. I don't give up on the movie.
No.
But, oh boy. My notes are sparse from here on out.
Oh my God, I wish I didn't have so many. The dog is sick, so the Doberman is sick. So Edward wants to cancel the experiments. He doesn't want to do any human testing. He's been against human testing from the very beginning. This is when Julie is planning to get $500,000 for this, I'm guessing, technology?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But she's mean to Jessica.
Loose definition of technology. Yeah,
very loose. She's mean to Jessica, and then Ken shows up, and the soap opera begins.
Yeah, because he recognizes the house. Now, which house? This is the house that Julie's at. He recognizes this house as the place where he tried to break in.
And Bob got killed.
Bob died.
Oh, it's so funny.
And then him and Jessica go for a walk in the woods after it's revealed that Ken is also Julie's lover.
Yes.
And Jessica's obviously upset about that.
Very. But what's funny is that he denies it later. He's like, no, we weren't lovers. It's awesome.
When they're doing their romantic walk in the woods, he's like, my world has changed since we met 4 hours ago.
Oh, my God, man. It's so good. He says, Christ, girl, I'm in love with you.
Yeah, they move fast.
Oh, my God. It's like me in high school. It's so great, but faster. Even faster. And let me tell you, Jeffrey, I was pretty fast. Anyway.
I believe you.
I know. I wish I didn't believe myself.
Right.
So now that we're about to finally have some partying with Gary, Tony, and the girls at the mansion, as they're about to go join the guys, Annie has her deja vu moment on the stairs. Holy shit, this is great.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. I feel like I've been here before. Obviously. You were here yesterday. Come on, quit joking. I'm telling you, I've seen this place. You know, Annie, a lot of staircases look the same.
It's so important, yo.
Yep. That's why I noted it in detail in these notes of mine.
So while they're partying, Tony's Walkman breaks. So he turns on the stereo and keeps on grooving, and it's so good. We have the partying with the girls. Gary's getting kind of bummed out by Annie talking about the stupid deja vu she had. He actually says, do we have to talk about staircases?
That's a good line.
Oh, shit. So Linda and Tony are going to get lucky. They've been dancing and talking to each other, getting all romantic. They go upstairs for some inhuman kissing. Ooh, the kissing in this movie is worse than the sex scenes.
There are a lot of sex scenes in this section of the film, right?
Yes.
Like, it's just kind of like one after the next, with some ball attacks interspersed in there.
Ball attacks interspersed with ball attacks.
Ooh.
Hey! There's so many moments where they would cut in porno sequences. Like, there's just so many, like, obvious cuts. I'm like, dude, no, stop. I know what you're trying to do. So we get... Oh, I'm losing my spot here. Oh, shit.
Oh, don't worry. The movie lost it, too. You're okay. Just jump in wherever it feels right.
Okay, so Mary Rose sees the spider, the spider that Julie left, and I was so happy they didn't kill it because, you know, they couldn't afford it. The spider had to be back by midnight or whatever. There's a silver ball in either her coffee cup or the sugar or both. As she's upset by the spider, she goes to drink, and I think she was drinking out of the sugar bowl.
Well, she's upset.
Exactly. The silver ball jumps in her mouth.
Yep.
Oh, and now she loves the spider.
Yeah.
Now that she's had this thing inside her, she loves the spider.
Because she's possessed
I
now.
love that scene where she's just caressing the spider. It was like sexier than any of the sex scenes, if you're into spiders. So now, good old Linda and Tony are making love, post-making love, and she says such an amazing line, dude. She says,
I wondered if it's you that's making me feel so fine, so deep down good.
I hope so.
So deep down. So very deep.
Now we have Annie dancing for Gary. So Gary has thrown over Pamela, Pamela we know is just quiet now. She's like freaking out and being quiet. She's not really in the movie, which made it really confusing when Annie hooked up with Gary, because I thought that Annie was Pamela, because Annie and Pamela kind of look alike a little bit.
A little bit.
So confusing. We cut back to Tony and Linda, and okay, folks, this is the tense stuff here. There's a silver ball in the toothpaste that Linda's about to use, and there's a silver ball in Linda's panties, which for some reason Tony is kind of like handling,
sniffing. Let's just call it what it is.
Okay, fair enough. They make us wait for all this tenseness for a second while Ken and Jessica finally consummate their relationship by the water.
Yep, and we get this the recurring giallo romance music, which is played so many times.
Oh my god, with her narration. Dude, Jessica's narration is so good. Like, they should have done his, like, what's in his head too. Oh man.
They tried to record it, but it was just
ouch. That's sad, but true. Yeah. Oh, so true. Now, I'm confused here, Jeffrey. Did you... Yeah, like, that's even a thing with this movie. So, I thought that there was an editing mistake, but I think I might have just been, like, floating in the reverie of this fine, fine film. I thought that Ken and Jessica were naked, having a sex scene, and then they were clothed, and then all of a sudden they were back to the sex scene, like the editor got scenes mixed up, or am I just imagining that?
No, that would not surprise me. I did not note it, but
God, I hope that's true.
Sure, I believe it.
I really hope that's true.
Oh, I like being so close to him. To touch him. Oh, to hold me tight. Stroke my face. Kiss me. Love me. Oh, he's so kind, so gentle. His body and mine will feel so wonderful. He's looking at me now.
While Annie and Gary are kind of like flirting, then the silver ball turns into ice cubes and goes into Annie's mouth, and she falls in the pool.
And they're talking about, like, ghosts and dancing with ghosts, how to make love to a ghost.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
they're all bald. That's the only thing we really need to know.
Yes, they're bald. The scene that I actually had to cover my mouth because I was screaming with laughter so loud that I was going to scare the cats and my poor wife who's watching this with me. The silver ball in the toothpaste makes Linda fall down on the floor. They have a little spiral pattern they've been using, like a spiral flashlight they've been shining. But that's not what's insane. What's insane is that Tony has the panties in his mouth.
Yeah, he's like choking on them.
And he is having a fit with these panties, and I lost my goddamn mind.
He's like stretching them out really far. It's pretty funny.
I'll never be the same again, Jeffrey. I love this part. It is so friggin' crazy. Like, it's funny on like multiple levels because it's supposed to be serious. It's funny because the actor probably felt really stupid doing it, and then everyone who in the crew who got that this was terrible was probably laughing, which is probably why they had to dub all the dialogue because the American crew were just laughing at everything. Oh, this is a standout scene. In their post-coitus reverie, I like the word reverie.
Say it. Wonderful word.
Thank you. Ken tells Jessica all about his ex-lover Bob, who died. I mean, his friend.
Yeah.
And it's just so great. And now we have the chaos at the house. And this is when the movie really amps up and gets even more confusing than it was before.
Oh, yeah. Because the balls affect the women in all different ways.
Yep.
They all just turn into psychotic mutant zombie girls.
Mm-hmm.
We get some really nice sax funk.
Oh, yes.
Playing.
Yes.
And one of them's got like green slime tears. One of them's got a partial bald cap. One of them's got sloth face.
Yeah. The one girl, I think it's Pamela. She brushes all her hair off her head, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Julie calls them neuropaths instead of psychopaths. I like that.
I like it.
Very nice.
But the main one ends up being the maid,
Mary Rose. Yeah,
Mary Rose, who just gets really stab happy.
Yeah, she's stealing the movie.
She stabs Annie She stabs Mustache, who is also possessed, and of course he like leaks puke slime onto Jessica as he like grabs her.
Yeah, because so Edward confronts Julie about what she's doing, and she knocks him out and ties him up in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tells Jessica that, you know, her dad's at the mansion.
Right.
So that's why Jessica's at the mansion. Yeah, they're greeting. She gets slimed.
Yeah, it's kind of like a scene at the end of a slasher film where the final girl discovers the corpses of all of her friends.
Oh,
Here she's discovering except the mobile zombie corpses of all of her friends, one by one.
The mutated goofballs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's so much great going on here. When Julie shows up to save the day, quote unquote, she tries to turn Jessica against her father and comfort Jessica. It's so fucking ridiculous. I don't know what is going on. We have Edward tied up in the bathroom, and he cuts the power to the computers, both Apache and George, by ripping the electric in the bathroom. There's a pipe in the bathroom. He rips it, and that pipe, which, again, is in the bathroom, controls the power to this huge computer systems, both of them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh, my God. So they have a big confrontation. I love this stuff. Oh, man. Julie has already stolen the tapes that apparently all of this data is on. And she sends Ken out to collect the $500,000 and the tapes.
And Ken says, "Well, Julie, your evil plan has been foiled because this money is a cashier's check.
Oh my
and
God.
It's made out to me." And she's like, "Damn, foiled."
Holy shit, man. You don't double cross dumpy Lena Romay. You just don't do it.
Well, she tries to stop him. He's trying to flee on that airplane back at the hangar that he arrived on. So this movie is circular. It ends where it begins.
Wow.
Julie drives her. Wait, isn't her car? Oh, she gets it fixed. Yeah, that's right. So Julie drives her once busted car to the airplane hangar.
Yep.
Unfortunately, she didn't check the back seat.
Oh, shit.
The maid's back there.
Yep, that slut, just like her mother, is in the back seat. All mutated now, just like her slutty mother. I'm assuming that.
Oh, my gosh.
Stop
slandering them.
I'm sorry. Jessica's on her way. She's going to meet Ken so they can run away together. And, of course, Mary Rose slashes Julie's throat. It's very gory, very bloody. And, of course, Mary Rose is even more crunked up than normal. She's kind of looking like Bob. Her face is almost fallen off.
Thankfully, right in the nick of time to really fuck things up, George reactivates, turns on his Protect Jessica program.
Yep.
So Ken takes an axe to Mary Rose,
right
in her head. But then at that same moment, George and Apache cause the hangar door to fall down and crush Ken's head.
Program code Protection Jessica.
Have a hold on me. You move in silence. You will not speak to me. You are a darkness, a total mystery. You are a nightmare fantasy.
And someone's eyes pop out. It's such a disjointed moment. They cut that scene of the eyes bulging and popping completely in the wrong moment, so all of a sudden it's just like an added bonus moment.
And then somehow Jessica's there too.
Yep, she took the Jeep and drove over there.
freeze frame is just her staring at Ken's head being squished and screaming. And the end.
The end. And that song, Nightmare Fantasy, starts playing again.
So I guess it's a happy ending because George and Jessica get to be together forever.
Yeah.
The closing credits tell us very helpfully that the tarantula starred as himself.
Oh, I love that.
And George played the role of George.
Yeah. And the Doberman, what was the Doberman's name?
It was like Jake or something.
Yeah, Jason. It's Jason. Yes. This is a secret Friday the 13th movie. Boom. There's a special thanks, according to IMDb.
Oh, yeah.
They thank Jackie Collins, the author.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just totally confused. I don't recognize any of their names, but Jackie Collins is in the special thanks.
Weird.
And yeah, we see all the Ocala, Florida crap in the credits, and I'm like, oh god, it's so close and yet so far away. We also see, the sound was all done in New York, so that's where all the post-dubbing was done. Whew. I am bewildered and just baffled, and some other B word, discombobulated? Oh no, wait, that'd have to be biscombobulated. Jeffrey, how do you like this one?
Oh, I like it a lot. I did not like having to take notes.
No.
About it.
I had to watch it twice to make any sense of it.
David Gilbert, our editor, is real bastard. Boy, oh boy.
Oh, what a son of a bitch.
He also edited Blood Tracks. I haven't seen that.
I have that. I've never seen it. It's probably as good as this, but not.
It sounds really good.
I think I bought the tape of that and burned it to DVD for myself, and then promptly sold that tape on eBay.
Sounds pretty cool. But this is a movie. Granted, I mean, what sort of footage did he have to work with? I'm guessing he did the best he could.
This is with reshoots, too. This is... Oh, man, because director Henri Sala is a French director, and this was his first and probably only horror movie.
Yep. Big surprise. He was mostly the director of erotic films, erotic French cinema.
Oh, yeah.
As you can tell, he seems very uncomfortable working in horror.
Oh, my God, yes.
And so this is a really weird production. It was like French, Indian, English, American production with a largely French crew.
Yep.
We learned that Salah was also a children's board game maker before he became a filmmaker.
Oh my god, those games must have had like impossible rules that didn't make any sense.
And so we also learn most of this information is from Dean Gates, who did the makeup effects on the movie, and Gerald Gottlieb, who is the executive producer, and also kind of translated the script.
Oh man.
Because it was a French script, but a lot of the cast was American or English. So they needed an English script as well. So, and there were some apparent disparities between both scripts, but the crew was mostly working from the French script, even though the performers and like the producers were working off of the other script. So it got really confusing. And it also produced, what we see here on screen, which is a disaster.
Oh, God.
The best line I got from the special features of this Blu-ray release was Gerald Gottlieb prefacing his entire discussion of the film with, well, we weren't making Gone with the Wind here.
Are you sure?
I think pretty certain they weren't. So, you like this movie.
Man, I love Nightmare Weekend. Like, this is maybe my favorite film I've watched this year. Like, and we're in May, so I really loved this freaking movie so much.
That's great.
I told my wife how excited I was to watch it again in the middle of the first viewing.
Wow.
I was so into this. I mean, aside from the rape scene, I was just, man, I'm all over this freaking movie. Like, I like to say, my favorite saying is, I'm all over it like a bag of chips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's my saying.
It's a good saying.
No, I'm so glad you picked this. Holy shit. This is like, wow. Vinegar Syndrome they're the best company ever.
They're really great. I mean, they put out a lot of good stuff. This one is beyond the pale for them even, really. Like, they've released some weird... Like, I want to talk about Runaway Nightmare on the show eventually.
Sure.
I think we talked about that. Talked about possibly doing that. That's a really weird film. That's not nearly as weird as this movie. Oh, boy.
What I like about the extras... Okay, let me rephrase that. What I don't like about the extras is they provide context. Like, they explain what went wrong.
Right.
Or what went right.
Yeah, they give you,
know
like,
what I mean?
they give you the context for why it happened. I mean, we still don't understand what any of the individual decisions, why those were made.
So, yeah, I like the whole, like, this is coming out of some bizarre universe where this is a good movie. You know, I like that kind of thing where this is just what French people think we get up to in Ocala, Florida, you know. I mean, and I love secret Florida movies. Like anything filmed in Tampa, obviously, is great. I'm totally sending you Phantom of the Ritz, which Naf and I have covered. This is Ocala, like I said before, not too far away from here. There's still almost nothing there. So, like, there's a lot of that just ridiculous palm trees and that crappy-looking swamp everywhere still, so... Not much has changed since 1986.
Nice. Keeping it real, Ocala, Florida.
A little too real. And there's some great stories in there about the house, in the extras, the house that they rented from this crazy couple. And the guy was shooting at snakes while they were trying to make the movie, shooting at water moccasins, which is totally a thing, of course. But man, just thank you for picking this.
You're so welcome.
Oh my God.
When I saw it, I knew you'd love it.
Oh, I did. I've got a little literature here if you don't have anything else to...
I don't. I'm good.
All right. I've got just a quick line from the review in Bleeding Skull, a 1980s trash horror odyssey by Joseph A. Ziemba and good old Dan Budnick, which I never thought we'd reference as much as we do on this show. Yeah. He says about the technology in the movie, Dan says, this has computers doing all sorts of wild and wonderful things that Merlin the Magician possibly used to do, but that no app ever will. I liked that line.
That's good.
Now, that's a positive review. Loving, glowing review of this film. He does complain about how dark the VHS tape was, which I can only imagine how bad the VHS of this film was. Speaking of that VHS, I have Video Trash and Treasures by L.A. Morse from 1989. Not as positive a review.
No?
No. He says, the title notwithstanding, the only nightmare provided by this opus is the one that must have plagued investors after they saw what they got for their money.
Aww. That's not fair.
Oh, man. Even the folks at Trauma Team who distributed this and who are not exactly known for the rigor of their standards must have wondered about letting this one loose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel that.
Let me skip down to the bottom here. This is the last sentence. It says, this is probably not the most inept movie of the 1980s. The competition for that is too stiff. But Nightmare Weekend is a contender for the top of the bottom honors, and that's no small achievement.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Classic. They started off mean and then just accidentally complimented it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yes, folks, I highly recommend Nightmare Weekend if you want something dumb as balls. No, balls are smarter. Silver balls.
Yeah, dumb as the miniature phantasm balls.
Oh, man. Jeffrey, do you know what we're covering next? I do.
I don't. What is it?
We are going back to Mexico, my friend. You're like, we are?
Are we? For what? Oh, is it Rider on the Skulls?
Yeah, I think it's Rider of the Skulls.
All right, I'm going to say he's riding the skulls. He's sitting on top of them, riding those skulls around.
Rider of the Balls. Let's give folks at home a chance to find this bad boy. It is El Charro de las Calvares. Oh, no, I can't even do Spanish. El Charro de las Calaveras from 1965, directed by Alfredo Salazar. And I have this movie.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, we talked about it. So I got it and I flipped through the movie and learned less about the movie from what I saw than when I didn't know anything about it. So
yeah, I don't know how this one's going to go. This is definitely different.
I'm excited.
But it should be good.
Unfortunately, it's in Spanish. It's not dubbed into hideous English, but we won't hold that against it.
maybe we can make our own fan.
Dude, you just found the next money-making idea.
Perfect.
Folks, thanks for listening. Jeffrey, thank you for joining me once again.
You're so welcome.
Yay! Good night, everybody. And stay away from the silver balls.
Martina!
Apache, butt out. This is a private conversation.
Hello, This is the Doomed Show is available at hellodoomedshow.podomatic.com. For the old episodes, check out the archives at doomedmoviethon.com. To contact the show, email us at doomedmoviethon@gmail.com or at doomedmoviethon on Twitter. For more Doomed Moviethon goodness, also visit cinemasomnambulist.com.
Well, hello, my dear friends. I am Baron Martino, and when I am not in Italy murdering beautiful fashion models, I enjoy hosting a little show called The Giallo Room. Giallo is basically the Italian word for yellow that often referred to cheap mystery novels with yellow covers published by Mondadori in the early 1900s. However, it later became the namesake of a notorious genre of films that peaked in the early 70s after Mario Bava, Dario Argento, Lucio Fulci, Sergio Martino, and many other talented Italian filmmakers introduced audiences to a new style of film that incorporated ornate cinematography, a pulsating soundtrack, beautiful female victims, and a black love killer, all together with a thrilling twist ending. Join me, won't you, as I share my unhealthy obsession of Giallo with you all in The Giallo Room. You can find The Giallo Room at youtube.com/c/The Giallo Room Show and facebook.com/The Giallo Room, as well as your closest participating adult film store. As always, my friends, grazie.
Hello, everyone. I am Rod Barnett.
I'm Troy Gwynn.
And we are your hosts for NashiCast, the podcast about the films of Paul Nashi. We, for over 5 years, have brought you the joys of Spanish cinema, filtered through our brains to you.
Yes. Now, what is it that qualifies two Southern boys to talk about films that came out of Spain? And I can't think of a single thing.
There's nothing that qualifies us. Nothing.
Except that we just love them.
We love them. NashiCast covers the films of Paul Nashi and any other Spanish horror film that we can pretend we know something about.
Yes. If you love beautiful women wearing incredibly short miniskirts in subarctic temperatures, chased by werewolves in leisure suits.
If you love werewolves, vampires, unidentifiable beasts, or crazy people driving women around and talking like a maniac to them.
Yes, flying cats, beheadings with axes.
Blood that looks like melted crayons.
Shambling zombies, yeah.
Some of the films that we've covered in the past are Mark of the Werewolf,
Howl of the Devil,
Vengeance of the Zombies,
Horror Rises from the Tomb,
Tombs of the Blind Dead,
Vampire's Night Orgy.
Ooh, yes. Join us on this journey through the golden age of Spanish horror where Paul Nashi, Leon Klimovsky, Jess Franco, Amando D'Osorio take us through a filter Espanol.
Join us for the NashiCast.
Well, Julie, your evil plan has been foiled because this money is a cashier's check.
Oh my God.
And it's made out to me.